It's not that I don't want you here. Yeah. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I don't make things clear.
Do you know what this hair reminds me of? Like, I'm not sure how this middle parting looks on me, because you know when Ursula becomes
The sea witch.
Is that what I look like?
No, you don't.
Oh,
You
this
look
is
like
how
a
I feel.
beautiful little princess.
Oh, thank you. You're so
You
lovely.
don't look horrible at all.
You know, I will say that is one thing I like about my white friends. They're so nice and so complimentary. You know what I mean? Whereas my Indian friends are just like, you look like shit. Or like, is that what you're gonna wear? It's never like, oh, you look beautiful. Actually,
Really?
some of them do, but
Yeah.
like, if I never met your mum before I
Mhm.
met her, and I went in and she was like, oh, hello, how are you? You look lovely.
Yeah.
Like, instantly.
And on Insta DM, she sent you when you
Yeah.
look so stunning
So
here.
cute. Aw.
Do you know what? I think it's very interesting, but me and my sister talk about it a lot, where sometimes you meet girls and they can't give you a compliment.
Why do you think that is?
And I think it's because tale as old as time, they're jealous
You
deep
think
down.
so?
Or they're not fully comfortable in themselves, so they can't tell you look amazing, because
Yeah.
then that makes them feel shit about themselves.
Really?
But I often find my friends that are so secure in themselves and they're really confident and they're like, take a picture of me here, take a picture of me, like so confident, are the ones that give me loads of compliments back.
Ah.
Because they feel, I think they're comfortable enough in themselves that they can give it back. But yeah,
I
I've
don't
had
know.
friends that they will never and I'm like, what's your problem, man? Like, I'm
doesn't
literally saying to
take
you,
a
you look
lot.
stunning. You just have to go,
Aw.
oh, so do you, but act like it's not even that deep.
Sorry. So do you.
No, not even saying that. I'm not even saying that. But I've just had friends, they can never get. It's like what we were saying about the jealous friends when they
Yeah.
don't compliment you on, you know, career progression or whatever. Because I think deep down it hurts them to tell you.
That's so sad.
You're
Why
doing
would you
well.
be upset over your friends
I know.
progressing in their careers? I don't know. I think for me, what I've seen growing up is when somebody looks 100 or they look perfect or they're dressed nicely, there's nothing.
You don't have to keep talking about me, by the way.
As I was saying. You do. No, but like people don't need to address anything. Whereas if like, say I've got something in my teeth, that's what they'll bring up.
Okay,
Or
yeah,
like,
that's
say,
a good
like,
point.
Or like my hair is looking a little bit different. Oh, sort this out like that. Or
Mhm.
they'll judge you based on things that aren't 100. So
Mhm.
they try and bring you up, but it's never the other way around, I noticed.
That's true. Speaking of giving compliments,
Ooh.
have you noticed I've started growing out my eyebrows?
I did.
And I say started, but like they're basically done now. They're ready. They've been cooking for a while and they're now ready to see the light of day. I feel like as a
I
makeup
really
artist,
like
you would
them.
notice.
I did. You know where I noticed? On the inner corner.
Here.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. So here, like, this is the same, but they felt too wide and I just felt like it was making my face look wider. So basically, these are bushy eyebrows, okay? I could just not touch them and they'd go, woo! So I just let them go and
that's
they've
not a
gone
fully
further
grown
in.
brow.
Huh?
That's not a fully grown brow.
I could have a monobrow if I wanted.
Stop it.
If I let it go and didn't pluck,
Yeah.
I could have a monobrow in like 6 months.
Do you know how much that's worth?
What do you mean?
Like, that is gold. for us, like,
Really?
yeah. You've got really
Really?
Indian eyebrows.
I think I do.
You have
That's
any
why I
Indian
think
in you.
people often think I have some sort of Asian in me. And
Yeah.
I think the mole, I feel like the mole makes me look a bit different.
You do look a bit East Asian, actually.
Yes. Where's Dua Lipa from?
I don't know. Let's Google her right now.
No, she's Albanian.
Is she?
So I've had
You actually do
Albanian
look like
because
her.
people say the Dua Lipa thing. And then I've had Iranian.
Oh my God, Olive, you actually do look just like her.
Do you think?
Look at this photo.
Oh, stop. I thought that was me for a second. Sim, I thought you were showing me a picture of me.
Stop
That sounds so up
it.
myself. I thought that was a picture of me. Sometimes I see pictures of
we
Dua
should
Lipa
recreate
and
this
I think,
look
yeah.
on
So
you.
if you think I look like Dua Lipa, my sister looks even more like her.
No. I think your sister looks like Jessie J.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I see that.
Because of the hair as well.
Jessie J.
Yeah.
Yes, because my sister does a lot of slick back hair, doesn't
Yeah.
she? That is like Jessie J. I think she looks more like Dua Lipa, but we'll be out and people constantly come up to her in bars and say you look like Dua Lipa. Like, it will be at least twice a night. Someone
Really?
tells her she looks like Dua Lipa. But yeah, a lot of people don't think I'm white. People always say, "Oh, where are your parents from?" or "What's your background?" And I'm like, I'm just a white girl. But,
Yeah, but
as I told
do-
you, my dad's
do
South
have-
African.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's done.
That makes sense as to
Yeah.
why you're so like you're 7 foot tall.
So with the eyebrows,
Yeah.
yeah, I do like. I like bushy eyebrows though. I don't like when they're super neat. I kind of like.
What have you done to them
how they're
today?
bushy. So I just pluck that middle bit because otherwise I'd have a unibrow. Someone used to take the piss out of me at school for having a unibrow, even though I didn't. I did pluck them, but they could obviously see I had the potential to grow one.
Relatable. I used to get the piss taken out of me all the time. Not at school.
And I'm quite hairy. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you?
Yeah, like my arms are very hairy. My legs are hairy. So people always take the piss out of my arm hair.
Still.
Not now. This was
Okay.
at school.
And are you hairy now?
My arms are.
Oh, let's have a look.
Obviously, my legs no.
Oh my god.
I
I've
really
never seen
thick
that
dark
much hair on a
hair.
white girl before.
I have really thick dark hair,
Yeah.
but I'm just sort of like, it is what it is. I would definitely
I've
get
never
laser though
noticed
if
it
I
before.
could.
But you wear a lot of sleeveless as well. I love how you just own it.
Yeah, I'm just like YOLO. Why
Whereas
not?
before I got full body laser, so like everything from my neck down.
Was that worth it? By the way, have we done a cheers? Sorry.
Oh, we haven't
I don't
done a
think we have.
cheers.
Let's cheers to thick body hair.
Cheers.
Oh, it's stuck on the table. Cheers to all my girls
Cheers.
struggling with thick body hair. I see you and I love you.
You know, I don't think we struggle anymore. I think we've become like acceptable, like accepting of it.
It's true. It is way more. When I was younger, like that was such a big diss to
It's-
be like,
oh
you have
my
the same,
God.
you have arm hair, you're like a boy, like da 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 da. But now
My
I don't
legs were
think...
so hairy that it used to look like I was wearing leggings. Like it was that bad, like it was that thick to the point where
Really?
yeah,
Sue?
in the winter.
Not to laugh in a bad way, but I'm just like leggings.
They were so thick and dark, and in the winter I never touched my legs from like September onwards until like they saw the light of day.
Mhm.
So from September onwards they would just grow and like live their own lives.
Well, it'd
and
save you some money on some leggings.
I
Free
never had them
insulation
out.
for the legs.
I used to like cover them with tights or like
Oh,
trousers or something.
Okay.
But
Did people make fun of you?
not when I was an adult, but at school, you know what?
At school.
we never really made fun of each other. I think it was.
This is this girls' school you went to when no one was mean to each
No,
other
you
that I
know-
don't think existed.
No, it did exist because it was really, really lovely. I think it was more brown people who used to make fun of me for having.
What?
Considering
Your
we're all
own
hairy.
people?
Oh my god, brown people really make fun of brown people sometimes. I know. Sip that tea.
Sip. That is some piping hot chai right there.
I know. I just feel like it was more my own people coming for me rather than your people. Because your
Oh.
people are like you know.
Yeah.
A lot of them are quite nice.
Yeah.
And then brown people like pick on certain things.
Why?
I don't actually know why we do it.
Have
I think
you
it's
ever
gotten so much better now, but before, all my insecurities came from a brown person picking on me. All of them.
Wow.
Even more than not being represented, even more than not being accepted by other cultures. It was the brown people in my culture who were making me feel like I wasn't worthy enough, or I needed to do something better, or I needed to be a certain way, present myself a certain way. Yeah.
Wow. Is that colorism?
Oh my god, that is exactly what it is.
Wow.
And I was a lot darker when I was younger. I don't know how.
Okay.
I don't think I'm.
And
that,
you've got paler.
I don't think I'm paler now. I just think that because I'm not out playing sports as much,
Okay, yeah.
I
you're
don't
not
have
gonna
that
do-
constant tan.
I cannot imagine you doing any sort of sport.
Can you not? I
Were
was
you sporty?
Oh my god, my whole life I've been.
Because usually
sporty.
cozy girls, we just love to stay in. We don't want to move our
I think I'll
bodies.
surprise you with what I used to do.
Really?
I used to swim competitively.
You were doing that
dance
butterfly
profe-
stroke.
I never got to butterfly, but I would up to the stage where I was doing competitions, swimming 24 lengths in 25 minutes. That was my jam. I used to get I used to come first in those. What else? I used to be a member of the cricket team, member of the netball team.
Could you
member
run
of the hockey team.
fast?
I used to be able to.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh my god! I just didn't think you'd be
Professional
sporty.
dancer. I used to do ballet, tap, modern disco, freestyle. Obviously
Oh
Bhangra.
So this was me in PE. Try and imagine. So basically, me and my family have always spoken about how we were always last picked for PE.
No.
Yeah, we were just bad at sports in general.
I cannot imagine
No
that.
hand-eye coordination.
Really?
Can't run to save my life. All of that. My sister had the same experience at school. I was always in like the bottom sets for PE. I was always with the rubbish ones that like that would just read or whatever, and I'd just sort of be there.
Yeah.
Then it came to year 9 and they put us in sets for PE, which I think's offensive.
That doesn't even make
To
sense.
put us in sets for PE, okay? If I don't want to run, I'm not going to run. Anyway, I somehow get put in the top set for PE. And
What
I'm
does
like,
top set PE mean?
it means you're the best, basically, in the year. So
Okay.
remember we worked out there's like 300 of us in the year.
Yeah.
So I was in that top 30 people
Wow.
for PE. And I'm like, something's gone wrong here.
Yeah.
I'm like, they've put the wrong name down. Like, because I'm that person that is just stood in the corner chatting shit to everyone. Like, during a netball game, I'd be goalkeeper, GK or whatever, because they'd be like, you're so tall, you can defend the hoop. I'd be stood there chatting to the opponent, going, oh my God, where'd you get your nails done? Oh my God, did you watch Love Island last night? It was so good, wasn't it? That's me. And then they'd go, Liv.
Whoa.
They'd
Go
go,
back,
Olive, wake up.
I think Love Island is only, 8 years old?
I watched Love Island in school. Yeah.
I've only known Love Island as an adult.
Really?
Yeah, my school was like OC.
I must have started
Friends
watching
was
it.
still airing its episodes when I was at school. They did their final episode. I remember I was in sixth form.
Stop.
Yeah.
I think season 1 Love Island was when I was like 15. And my mum
it.
didn't let me watch it. Because cheeky things were happening. So she completely
Yeah, because
banned
first
me.
season, do you remember?
Yeah, that was wild. That was crazy. But yes, in netball, I was the one chatting shit.
Yeah.
Making friends with the enemy, and everyone would go, Olive, look over here. You need to be playing the game. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I'm like, how have I ended up in set 1?
Okay.
The reason was because I was besties. My 2 best friends were the girls in top set, and they were
Okay.
so good at sports.
Okay.
So the reason I'd gone through is because I was friends with them, and the PE teacher just thought I was really good.
She must have
Because I
confused
was-
you.
Because we were in like a 3.
Yeah.
A 3. I
Yeah.
think because they were so good, they just sort of carried me through and by association put me into the top set.
Okay, so in my year, in my class, there were just
Yeah.
2 Asian girls. And obviously, we didn't look the same to us, but
Yeah.
to other people, we might have looked the same. We were going out to play hockey one time, and our school was on a hill, the hockey pitch was on the bottom of the hill, so we had to run down the hill, play our whatever match, our hour, and then run up after the hockey match, get changed, go to the next class.
Yeah.
My friend, she's really, really sporty, very good,
Yeah.
but the teacher would call us both Sim. She'd be like, Sim, do this, Sim, do that. So I'd be thinking, like, I'm on the wrong side of the pitch. I'd be like, where do I need to go? Where? This girl was not running down the pitch. I was running. So she was like, Simran, run! And I was like, oh my God, I can't
I'm
run any faster.
running,
So I'm
like-
running. This girl walking behind me, and she's like, Simran, run faster! I'm telling you to run. So I'm doing laps
Yeah.
around the hockey pitch.
Yeah.
And this girl is like walking down. It wasn't until she got up to her and she like screamed in her ear, Simran, run, that she
You realised she was talking to
she
the
was
wrong
talking to
Sim.
yep.
And that's racism, ladies and gentlemen.
What the hell? I know.
My latest news, which
Ooh.
isn't technically my news, but it has annoyed me. My boyfriend has deleted Instagram.
Has he actually?
He's deleted Instagram. And I feel so many things.
I don't know how you'd.
Firstly, I'm like, offensive? How are you going to like all my pictures? How are you going to see what I'm doing every day? How
Does
are
he
you
like
gonna...
everything?
Yeah.
Does he
and
comment
he'll
on stuff?
comment, yeah.
That's so cute.
So I'm like, what are you doing?
How are you going to know
Like,
what I'm up to?
How are you going to know what I'm up to? Obviously, I do see him like every day, so he does know because of that. But you need to be looking at my cute selfies. You need
Yeah.
to be looking at my cute coffee pictures. Like,
yeah.
what are you doing with your life? Like, at least unfollow everyone, just follow me so you can see my content.
Yeah.
So
Why
I
did
was
he do
like,
it?
rude. He just doesn't need it anymore. Like, he's not bothered about seeing.
You know, I think.
Just his whole feed was like memes, just like rubbish memes, and he's just like,
Aw.
it's just
boring.
not entertaining me anymore.
Yeah.
And he would just be scrolling for hours on Instagram. He's like, it's such a waste of time. He's trying to be productive, okay? He doesn't need that in his life. So I get that, but I'm like, now I have to send you all my Instagram pictures for some attention.
You know, that's so funny that you're having this conversation with him, because this is something that our age group doesn't actually talk about.
Really?
Yeah, because one of my friends had the same thing with her husband.
Mhm.
He kept saying, I want to delete Instagram, I don't like it. And she was like, no, I want you to like my post. I want you to see what I'm up to. Like,
Yeah.
at least you'll know. Like, obviously they live together, so he knows what she's up to anyway.
Yeah.
But like you, one day he just deleted it, and then 3 months later, which was the other day, she was like, do you know he deleted Instagram? I was like, no. He just did it, and then it took us 3 months to realise that he deleted it.
She didn't know.
Yeah,
3
we
months
didn't
later.
know. We didn't know. Until we tried to tag him in something. We couldn't find him.
Well, I sent him a meme.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was
No.
telling my sisters and they were like, that's such a blessing. Like, they were like, it's actually really icky if a boy has an Instagram.
Is it?
Yeah, and if he's
Icky.
and if he's posting...
Maybe I don't know what icky means. Icky means like it's...
An ick, when you get the ick.
Which is what?
It's like, so let's say you're dating someone
Yeah.
and they do one thing and you
it puts
now
you
can't
off.
see them the same way. Yeah.
Okay, so...
They do. So let's say...
Okay, so I do understand what it means. So how is having Instagram
icky?
off-putting?
Because they say it's off-putting if guys are constantly posting selfies of themselves
Okay.
or like topless pictures or pictures of them in the gym.
What's wrong with
It
that?
then becomes icky because they're trying to flex their muscles. I don't need
So
to
what's
see you
the difference
flexing your
between
muscles.
that and posting bikini pictures?
It's very true. Look at her. She's on the boys' side today. Yeah, that is true.
I want to know because
That
I
is
don't
totally
understand.
true.
I think that there's a lot of hypocritical things when it comes to girls
that is
and
true
guys.
though, girls and guys.
And
Double
I've got-
standards.
Yeah, double standards. I've got nothing to say. When my friends are like, well, girls can do this and guys can't do that. Why is it like that? I'm just like...
I think typically it's like girls, like we want to empower ourselves, so we're going to post bikini pictures and all of that to take back our power after people called it slutty, etc. But then it's like people
But then
think...
my guy friends say that we know how to manipulate guys, which I think is very true, actually. Women do know how to manipulate to make a guy do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Wow.
And
I do
that's a
think
fair
girls
point.
do that. I do think girls do that. And I think even with certain things like you can know what to... I think because guys can be easily led astray sexually,
Ooh.
girls know how to like do their makeup, be flirty, say certain things to try and manipulate. But guys can do the same to girls.
They can do.
It literally works either way. But yeah, so they're saying it's icky if a guy's constantly on Instagram. But they took it even further and said, actually, it's really toxic. And I've had this, a lot of friends and their
Toxic?
boyfriends, they think it's really toxic if their boyfriend is liking other girls' Instagram posts.
It depends what they're liking.
If they are bikini or lingerie pics, they say it's really disrespectful to the girlfriend. What do you think of that?
I don't think guys should really be open about or like even be looking, first of all. But then you can't blame them if they are friends with somebody and you post a bikini picture.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to see it. I find it funny when I see like a bikini picture of some girl and some guy has liked it. Obviously, like, it's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But say like I know this guy and I see him liking a lot of bikini pictures.
And you
I'm
know he's married or something.
He's married or like he's in a really like long-term relationship and I'm like, lol. LOL.
Well, this is my
Lol.
opinion on it. I think if you've got a boyfriend that you don't trust and he has given you a reason to not trust him, i.e. he has cheated on you before or he's got a girl's number on a night out, done shady things, if I then saw my boyfriend liking bikini or lingerie pictures of other girls that he knows, I would be like, what are you doing? Because you would already feel insecure because he's cheated on you and already that bit of trust has gone.
But I
So
feel
it's
like honey pie, let it go. Let him go or let it go.
But that's the thing. If you still don't trust him like that, you probably shouldn't be with him. But sometimes people don't realise that. Sometimes people don't want to admit that they don't trust him. They just want to like breeze over
What's
it.
the
But
point?
deep down
What
they
are you
don't
doing
trust.
with your life?
Yeah, it's true. Well, people are in denial.
You know,
But I
this
think
is why
when
I don't
you-
have a lot of female friends because I'm so
Really?
open and honest and blunt when it comes to this kind of stuff. If you don't trust your partner, leave. Yeah.
But there's often that thing where you give your friends so much advice and you say things like, it's very
Yeah.
easy to say it. It's really easy to go, just leave him. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what? He's a piece of shit. Just move on. And often I've given that advice so many times, but I know I see it time and time again. The girl can't leave him.
Why?
there's just so much attachment. If you've been together a few years, it's so hard to let go of someone.
I'm sure it is.
And it's not just you're together, it's like they're your best friend. You don't want to think of your life without them.
But they
and
can't
it's really
be your
hard
best
to
friend
come.
if they are
I
making you
know.
feel a certain way and liking things.
But I
and
think it's
doing
hard to come to terms with the fact that they're being shady. And it then takes a matter of time that you're then like, okay, I'm amazing. I deserve someone so much better than this. I'm this amazing person. I should not be with someone like that. And then they can let go. But it does take a while. It's really hard to just cut a guy off and never talk to him again.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys don't find it that hard at all.
Okay, this is my thing, right? This is my thing.
Yeah.
I have seen this time and time again with, I can name at least 5 girls and their ex-boyfriends where this has happened.
Yeah.
Where what happens is they break up for whatever reason. The girl, I have consoled the girl for months. The girl is crying for weeks.
Yeah.
She's upset for about, obviously it's different how long you've been with someone, but the girl's probably still upset 6 to 8 months later.
That's really sad.
And we still talk about the breakup. I'm consoling them. However, 2 weeks after the breakup, the boy, he's on holiday. He's at the club. He's posting pictures with other girls. I hear on the grapevine that he's got with other girls. This is weeks after breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts so much for the girl because you're still upset. It's still very raw for you. You're at home for like 6 months, whatever, trying to move on with your life, but you can't forget. You go out, you see someone that looks like your boyfriend. Oh, she's crying again. You know, you walk past this restaurant. Oh, we went on a date there. She's crying again. Totally get it. But the girl is so upset. Why are you laughing, you heartless bitch?
I'm so sorry.
This is why she has no girlfriends, okay?
No, I'm laughing.
She needs to be
because-
locked up.
I'm laughing because of an experience that I've had with a friend, but I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
So yeah, the girl gets upset pretty straight away. Whereas I've hit a nerve there. Was it relatable? I'm so relatable.
Oh my god, okay.
Okay, but the guy, straight away, he's fine.
Yeah.
Then it's got to about 6 to 8 months post-breakup. The girl has glowed up. She's been in the gym. She's cut her hair. She's changed her hair colour. She is now a new woman.
A girl is ready to move
She's
on.
ready to move on. She's now a new woman. She's texting me, let's go clubbing. Let's go here. She's dead. She's loving life again. She's now ready to start dating. This is 6 to 8 months post-breakup. We then get the text. You get the text from the ex saying, hey, can we have a chat? I've been thinking about you.
Okay.
I've seen this 5 times.
And then what happens?
And because what has happened is now, 6 months post-breakup, the guy processes it later and then goes, oh, actually, I can't believe I broke up with her. That was the biggest mistake. Look at her on Instagram. She's now a gym girl. She now looks amazing. She's so stunning. I can't believe I lost her. Subconsciously, I don't think they think it. Yeah, I think it's quite subconscious they think this. And then they try to come back in your life when you have moved on.
I will tell you something. A guy will not come back to you because he realises what he's done wrong. They will come back to you to see if you were stupid for the second time round.
Sip. Now that's the tea.
1% of guys will realise that they've made a mistake, but usually they're not sorry, in my experience and my friend. They're not sorry because they
I don't think they are.
They're sorry that they got caught and they want to see if they can make it work again.
So this really reminds me of my friend.
Woo.
Had a very toxic ex.
Oh my god. I'm ready. I'm ready.
He 100% is a narcissist, and if he finds this video, he will be very upset. But you know what?
Let's get this on his FYP.
Try me, mate. Actually, try me because the DMs are open.
Yeah.
This couple were together approximately 1.5 years, 2 years officially, and then it was very kind of on and off after. So we would go on a night out together. So let's say there's 3 of us, girls' night. We've gone on a night out, we're living life, we're dancing, we're partying, we're whining on each other, whining on the gals because we're taking people, making new friends. That's the vibe. We would get home. She would always sleep round after a night out because we just love a sleepover. Get to the next morning, she would have missed calls on her phone and loads of texts.
Okay.
And it would say, who is this? And it'd be a screenshot of a boy on Instagram.
Okay.
And she'd be like, what? Like, that's blah, blah, blah from my school.
Yeah.
Or that's da-da-da that I met a few weeks ago. Or da-da-da from work. And what he would do is after a night out, he would look on her Instagram to see if she had gained one follower. If she had gained a follower, he would then go onto her followers list, scroll through to see
has the time?
who has the time to see who could have followed her from that night. And what is ironic, he would always pick a guy that looked like him, narcissist, and he would say, you cheated on me last night. And I know because someone new has followed you and it's this person. Send the screenshot.
It's too much. It's too
And
much.
we would be like, that guy followed her weeks ago, or that's her friend from school,
Yeah.
or, oh, that was da-da-da's friend from last night,
Yeah.
or whatever. Or her followers have gone up because we've met girls in the bathroom,
Yeah.
and we followed each other on Instagram. Like, calm down. Because he started that,
Yeah.
she was then getting paranoid. Because do you remember how I told you, if a guy sometimes moves like that, it's because they think they do it
I
themselves.
did not know that.
Yeah. So then she would start doing it like when he was on a night out. Not that she'd check the extra follower, but she would look through his followers and be like, who's this? Who's this? Does he know this girl? He would comment on other girls' pictures and they would be bikini pictures or very seductive pictures like with their bum out. And he would comment with like fire emojis when he had a girlfriend. And then she would pull him up on it and be like, who are these girls? Like, why are you commenting on a stranger's post? He'd be like, she's not a stranger. Like, I went to school with her, or that's my friend's friend, or like make up all these excuses. And she'd be like, that's a stranger. You've got no mutuals together.
Yeah.
You don't know this person. And sometimes she'd be like, okay, well, show me your DMs then, because I'm
Yeah.
sure they'd be innocent. He wouldn't show her.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, this is something
What?
I just found out. This is for all the girls that are worried about their boyfriends.
Yeah.
I found out how you can see deleted text messages. I saw
I
on
think
TikTok.
I saw a video on this.
I saw on TikTok.
What?
So
What is
I'm going to tell you now. These are the steps. Okay, you go onto your messages.
Yep.
In the top left, it says edit.
Yeah.
Show recently deleted. It then shows all deleted message, and you can click recover all in the bottom right.
No way.
So if you think your boyfriend's cheating on you or he's being shady, you can go into text now and see the messages he's deleted.
Here for the girlies, honestly.
I'm here for the girlies. We're here to help you, okay? So what do you think about that? Because I think commenting on bikini pictures of girls you do not know is not boyfriend behaviour.
No, I think it's dumb. I think
Do you know
it's so
what?
Stupid.
Sorry, the plot thickens. With this couple.
Wait.
Sip.
Now I'm ready. You know, even though this is peppermint tea, I feel really gassy.
Do you?
Yeah, more gassy.
You
than
fart, I'll burp, and then it's a
No,
good
I
balance.
don't think it's coming out that side. I think it's coming out the
Oh,
other
it's a
side.
burpy
So I
one.
think I'm going to have one of those try burps.
Okay, bring a try burp
Okay,
out. We
I'm
love
trying.
it.
It's brewing.
So at this point, a try burp is brewing. At this point, they've been together, I think it was like a year. It's their first and I think last holiday together. They went abroad. They've been away for like a week. My friend is posting basically like the whole holiday. She's doing videos of where they're eating. She's doing
Yeah.
pictures of him, videos of him. She's tagging him, whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, me and my friends are commenting, oh, cute, this is so cute, whatever. We look on his Instagram. They've been there a week. He has not once posted her.
I don't
And
think
it's to
that's a
the-
red flag.
Okay,
you know.
no.
Okay, but
Remember the context, though. This
okay,
guy
yeah,
comments
yeah,
on random girls'
sorry.
Instagrams.
Okay, cool.
If this is a person you completely trust, that's not a red flag. But when you add everything together, this is red flaggy. It would get to the point where, so they're sat opposite each other having a dinner, and he's panning, and just before it gets to her, camera off. Camera off. So like I would see from her videos
Yeah.
him panning round, and then I'd see on his video panning round, and it'd stop before it get to her, so that she was never in the videos. He would post all these places. Sometimes he'd post like a bit of a hand or something, so you could kind of see he was with a girl,
Yeah.
but you never knew who it was. And obviously you could tell he was on a vacation because he's on a holiday. He's not with the lads, so he's obviously on a holiday with a girl. So obviously she'd pull him up on it, and she'd be like, we've been on holiday for like a week. Why are you not posting me? I'm tagging you in posts. Why aren't you reposting
Yeah.
them? He'd be like, oh, I just really don't want to post you because I don't want my friends messaging you. And like,
But does he have? Does he post other stuff like when he goes away with his friends or when he's out with his friends doing something.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'd post like nights out and
Okay,
stuff.
fine. Well, then that's an issue.
So he'd be going, I don't want my friends to message you and just saying stuff and getting in your ear. And I believe in evil eye. And I think that if I put you out there, someone's going to be really jealous of me and they're going to put bad energy on it and then we'll end up breaking up.
That is so manipulative.
Do you see the narcissism?
That is so bad.
Honey, that's not how evil eye works, for
No.
starters. Do you see
He's
the
one
manipulation?
bringing the evil eye on the relationship.
But think, so he comments on girls' pictures. He's actively not posting her. And he's hiding his messages.
So why is she with him?
Shady. So yeah, obviously they broke up.
Okay, sorry.
100% they broke up. We're not having that around here. Lots of conversations were had. But what was really annoying was he was basically had the gift of the gab. So he knew what to say.
Yeah.
So whenever they got into an argument, he was really good at getting his way out of it.
Was he a Virgo
because
man?
of things. Was he a Virgo man? I actually don't know his star sign, but
Yeah.
it's giving that energy.
Yeah, it's giving Virgo man energy.
But he would do things like, so say when she broke up with him, he'd be like, oh, that's so sad you've ended it because I was actually going to introduce you to my parents this weekend and I was going to introduce you to my friends and actually I'd booked this hotel this weekend that we were going to go to, so guess we can't go
Poor
now because
girl,
you've
man.
ended it. And he did it to try and manipulate her. And this is the other thing, after being together nearly 2 years, she never met his friends. Never once met his friends. And she said, why have I not met your friends? Like, we'd met him multiple times.
Yeah.
He'd come out with us. She said, why have I not met your friends? And he'd say, oh, none of my boys have girlfriends, so I just don't think they'd get on with you.
That's crazy. What do you think is the appropriate time for somebody to meet friends, family?
Do you know what's really funny? I didn't meet my boyfriend's mum until 6 months in, which a lot of people say that's really late.
Is that late?
Apparently that was really late.
Oh my God.
All my friends were like 2 months in, they were like, have you not met his parents yet? Like that's
Really?
And they'd be like, that's really weird. Like, is he hiding something? I'd be like, I don't think so.
You know, as for Indian people,
you don't meet until you're like going to get married,
Yeah.
right?
It's hard because, you know, like, I don't know what it's like for you guys, but for us, when you go to uni and then you come out of uni, instantly people are like, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? Whether you've got somebody
Yeah, I
or
don't
not.
have that. Even though I've been with my boyfriend 5 years, no one
That's
said when are you getting married.
wild.
Yeah, like me and my friends will chat about
You've
it.
never
like, all
heard
dream.
anyone say that to you?
None of my family have been like, when you get married.
Not even your grandma?
No,
No auntie?
no, never.
Well, how old
We
are you?
respect the privacy.
What? How old are you?
23. No
Well,
one's ever said.
If you were Indian,
Yeah.
they'd be like, what is wrong? Like, do you have somebody?
Really?
And then you would keep that a secret because obviously you don't want anyone to like evil
Mhm.
eye on your relationship. But it's hard because that's the next step that most people expect women to take.
Wow.
They don't think that they have a career. But what I find funny is that there are so many videos going online about this question, like people saying, when are you going to get married? And it is such a hot topic because people are like, how dare these random aunties ask, when are you getting married? Rightly so,
Mhm.
because it is weird. But like, do you ever hear, not like to you, but like, is that a question that people come out with when it comes to like...
Do you know what? I haven't heard much of when you're getting married, but what I have heard a lot recently,
Yeah.
because I've got cousins and I've got quite a few friends that are in their 30s,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of their mums and aunties and family saying, when you're going to have a kid?
So no marriage, it's just straight into a kid?
Straight into kid.
Wow.
And what I'm noticing now is as we're in a bloody cosy lives and everything's so expensive,
Yeah.
I've got so many friends that have been with their partner for like 5+ years and they're just having kids. And they would rather have a kid than have a massive wedding and get married, even though I know you don't have to have a massive wedding.
Yeah.
But they would rather put their money into having a kid and getting a house and doing their house up nice than doing a wedding and getting married.
And what about the commitment side of it? Like, is it just that you're...
Yeah, I think now, like the modern way, it's like you don't have to be married to show that you're committed to someone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because
Could you,
these people,
I want to
they've
take you
been
to
together.
an Indian house and I want you to say these words and I want to see the uproar that
No,
happens.
I'm not. You feeding me into the lines, then? You want me to walk in and say that?
Oh my God. You know, you'd get away with it because you're much taller than everybody else. But like, the reason I find it crazy is because as I've gotten older, I've realised that that is the least invasive question you're ever going to be asked. As a woman.
Wow.
Like they are
Compared
so
to the other
upset
stuff.
compared to other stuff. Because once you get married, or even like when you're engaged, they're like, okay, when's the wedding? So everything's working towards wedding. after you get married, it's like, okay, so when are you buying a house? How big is the house going to be? Where's it going to be? How much is it going to be? So they start inserting themselves
Into
your
your life.
finances.
Yeah.
Do you have a nice car?
See, I don't like that myself because, as I've told you, I'm
Yeah.
quite private in my relationship. I wouldn't want people telling me, like, okay, you need to get this house, you need to get this car, like, you need to do this together. Why have you not moved in yet together? Like, all of that. I'd be like, can you calm
and
down?
if you're living with in-laws, oh, okay, then you must be saving a lot of money. Are you going to buy an investment property? Like, they will really hone in on your finances. So if you think your relationship and them asking you about when you're getting married is like a big no-no, wait till you get married. And
Oh
they ask
my
you all
God,
these
I didn't
questions.
realise about all those questions.
Yeah, and then the other ones are like, when are you having a baby?
Yeah.
Oh, you should get a 3-bedroom minimum because you need to prepare for your child, assuming that people are going to have children when they get married.
Do you find people always have multiple kids, or are there a lot of only children?
It's really
in
a
your
mix these days.
culture?
I think a lot of my friends are mainly stopping after 2 because
Okay.
A, finances, and B,
Yeah,
it's a lot of
I think
work.
the same with my lot.
With
with my lot.
With your
With the
lot?
white girls. The white girls are doing that too.
What, having 2 children?
Yeah, but I
Stop
think
it.
I think a lot of white people actually want a bigger family because
Yeah.
typically we have small families.
Yeah.
Here's a little announcement.
Ooh!
I have 4 cousins.
Yeah.
4 cousins.
Right.
And it gets lonely. I always think, I wish I had, like, obviously I love them and stuff, but I always wish I had like 8 cousins. Like when I was at school, all my friends had like 8 to 10 cousins, and they were constantly around their cousin's house, and it was like they had this really fun, nice connection.
About, mum and dad?
Yeah.
You've got 4 cousins on both sides.
Yes. I was thinking, why is she not shocked?
I am.
In total, I have 4 cousins.
That's wild. I thought you meant 4 cousins that you talk to.
No, I have 4 cousins. 2 on one side, 2 on the other. So I've always wanted a big family, and that's why
I have 14 on one side. That's my immediate, my mum's sisters, siblings, their children, or like my
14
dad.
on one side.
I'm sure I have like the same on the other side. There's a good chunk of us.
So I think, Jesus Christ.
But like even like, say one of my cousins is the same age as my mum, so they have children who are a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
So I already have.
But isn't that a second cousin?
They're second cousins, but they all group as one.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're obviously not going to leave their kids at home, and we end up hanging on with those kids.
But I think because a lot of white people are similar to me, where we've got like 4 cousins, we've only got 1 sibling, whatever. We now want to have bigger families.
Really?
And I also think, once again, it comes from the Kardashians. I'm not going to lie. They influence so much.
You know, I think people have seen one thing I do really like about that family.
Yeah,
is that
they are
really such a community.
Family. Yeah, and they really support each other. But I think people have seen that online, and they're like, all the cousins now have besties, like all the sisters, they're so close, and all their kids are close, that we now want that. And I would, like, that's why I feel so lucky to have my boyfriend's family now, because he has like blinking 10 cousins as well. So now I get to be friends with all of them. And now it's like, I've got that people. Compared to a lot of
Browns.
Asian, I'm not saying that word, honey. A lot of Asian families, you have so many cousins. I'm like, that's 3 friends. You've just got 3 friends for life there.
Yeah.
Not the tea. There was so much shade in those eyes.
No. I mean, like, we all grew up together, so it was fun. But it's just like how
I guess
you
you're
have
like
friends,
different people, yeah.
You tend to like drift apart, or like you hold on to people who like you have similar interests with. It's hard as well. Like you have different lives.
Yeah.
And then like some get married and you're not really sure on the spouse. And
isn't that disappointing when your friend gets married or gets a boyfriend and you don't like the boyfriend?
What do you do?
What do you do? I had a friend who had a boyfriend that me and my friend did not approve of our other friend's boyfriend.
Okay.
And when we say we don't approve, we weren't being bitchy, okay? There were grounds to not like this boyfriend.
Let's just say, like, you are quite open and accepting.
I am. I'm accepting of a lot of people, and I always try to see the good in people.
So for you to say that you don't, I just saw your earrings. How pretty. I was going to wear those ones today as well.
We've got matching, don't we?
Yeah. So for you to say that you don't like somebody, they have to do something really bad or really awful to somebody that you love. You know what I mean? It's not even they have to do something bad to you, because you can accept it. But if somebody comes for one of her like closest, you better watch yourself, honestly.
You've hit the nail on the head there.
That's Scorpio energy.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Because I like a lot of people. Like, you have to do something really bad for me to actually not like you. So this guy was very judgmental of his girlfriend, who was my friend, very controlling of her, would often say things about how she looked,
Right.
what she ate.
Yeah.
And so basically we saw a dramatic change in our friend since
Yeah.
being with this guy
Yeah.
because he was so opinionated. And we realised it was him because when we would then go out with them, he would make little comments and he would always be really protective where he'd have his arm round her.
Yeah.
If she was talking to another boy for too long, he would like tap her on the shoulder and be like, oh, cool. And it'd be like, okay, stop talking to him now, like chat to me. So this guy was toxic. Anyway,
That's too much.
so me and my friend said, we're quite concerned now.
Yeah.
So my friend sent her a message and said, look, this is coming from a really good place, but it's
Yeah.
been quite a few months now. You're with this guy. I'm really not sure about him. You know, we've noticed you've changed a lot. I just don't think it's the healthiest person to be with. Like, I'm doing this from a place of love, but I really think you need to rethink being with this guy.
Mm.
We thought we're doing her a favour.
And
She comes back defensive as fuck. She's like, don't tell me what to do with my life. You think you know better than me. I know what I'm doing. I knew you
no.
didn't like him. I've been confiding in you, like asking you for all this advice, and secretly you've been hating on him. Don't tell me what to do and who I should date again.
You know, when people do that, I think it's because inside they genuinely believe that what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
They agree with it, but
And
they
they've
don't
got
know how to-
defensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think
there's
she
no
knew
reason.
deep
If you're
down.
going to tell me something about me and I don't know it, I'm going to be like, oh my God, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
But if I know that I'm being a woman dog
Yeah.
and you're being like, hey, Sim,
A woman dog.
and
She's
you're like,
so polite.
and you're like, Sim, well, after Kerry Jenner came for us last time.
She did. Kerry Jenner came for us with
Kerry
the
Jenner is Olive's
swearing.
mum, by the way.
Yeah.
She was like, girls, you swearing too much on the podcast. Please tone it down. But like,
Yes, Mum.
if you told me that and I knew that I was being that way
Mhm.
and I got defensive over it, it's because I know that I am being that way.
Yeah.
So maybe she knew that, hey, he's
I
making
think
her do all
so.
this kind of stuff. But I don't think guys realise when they say these things to women how much we have to battle it in ourselves.
Yeah,
to
and how much it can
overcome.
affect you.
How
If
like,
I had my boyfriend every day saying like let's say I ate a bit of chocolate and he's gone, oh God, why are you eating that?
Yeah.
Or, oh, you're going to get fat if you eat that.
Yeah.
If someone says that to you every single day, you're going to believe it.
Yeah.
And therefore you change. But I think for her, it was probably very hard to hear what we were saying because when you're so deep in it
Yeah.
and he's manipulated you
Yeah.
like that, it's very hard to hear that from someone else and you might not be able to see it. But as you said, deep down, you
She
probably
might
have
have
picked
agreed
up
with
on
it.
red flags.
Yeah.
But you haven't wanted to admit it. And then someone else telling you, it's like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
So that was such a shame. And then they didn't talk for ages. And then this girl and her boyfriend broke up.
And then she came back and wanted to party with you. Stop it! Get out! No! Mike's, oh, go away.
Don't talk to me no more.
I have a story time about a toxic relationship.
Slay!
Slay!
Give me more juice, give me more juice.
So, my husband and I have been married for 10 years. We married really young after getting pregnant. We had a rough start to the marriage, toxic on both sides.
Oh.
After
that's sad.
7 years, it came to a halt, and I spent some time with my parents for a month for a trial separation.
Slay.
We just constantly fought and just couldn't get on the same page. When I got back, we both got into counselling and couples therapy and spent 2 years or so working on ourselves. 2 years? That's a long time. And we still hit some bumps, but in my view, we were up and down and we celebrated our 10 years together.
Cute.
Very cute. I remember telling him I was glad we worked through everything because of how in love we were, how strong I felt we were, so hopefully we had a really lovely future.
Aww.
You just know it's going to go downhill from there.
There's
don't you?
impending doom
I
in
know,
this story.
I know. Last night, I noticed this girl had viewed my TikTok profile. I don't post any videos, and she's been viewing my profile multiple times a month for about 6 months. You know what? I don't get why people do this. TikTok,
And LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
You can
and
see.
Instagram stories. Why are people up in there if they're not like, they don't want to be seen?
Sorry, do you realise that I can see you? I
That's
can see you there.
crazy.
You're not on private. I can literally see that you are stalking me.
Why do people do that?
Sorry, she's been looking for 6 months on her TikTok that she doesn't even post on.
This other girl has been looking at her TikTok.
But she doesn't post, so she must have been looking at her reposts and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Oh
I
my
actually
God. I know what you're going to say. Is it the thing you texted me about?
I actually have a wife of an ex-boyfriend who keeps viewing my stories.
Crazy!
And she doesn't follow me.
A big whole
But
wife. A
but
full-on wife, people.
And they've got children together.
And she's looking at your stories.
Honey pie, get a hobby.
Get
know
a
what I
hobby.
mean?
You must have been the one that got away.
I know I was.
And she's heard about you. And she's like, who's this Sim who's suddenly got
No,
a podcast?
I've met her. She's really nice. I liked her.
And she just stalked your Instagram stories.
She unfollowed me and now she just stalks my Instagram stories.
Why unfollow then?
I
At least
don't
say it
know.
with your chest and keep the follow.
So, and she stalks the Chai and Crumpets page as well.
At least give me a cheeky follow if you're going to look at me every
exactly,
day.
Right? Anyway, so she started viewing her profile multiple times for the past 6 months. I thought it was a bit strange and I didn't think anything of it until last night. I tried to find out who she was and I found out she had a mutual with me,
Slow.
a co-worker of my husband's. I confronted him and after some time he finally came clean about it.
About what?
She started out as his vendor, they became friends, and the messaging went too far on more than one occasion. He tried distancing himself. Oh, well done, and tried asking her to keep the relationship professional.
Wait, what do they mean by went too far? Like they kissed?
I don't know. And she would keep it professional for a while until she wouldn't.
Who's
and
this
he
bitch?
would engage inappropriately.
Can I just say, I
Yes.
never understand how people can be the other woman. How can you date a guy knowing he's married
It's wild.
and have no guilt? Imagine you know he's got a wife and kids and you are still choosing to be with him.
How?
And also, a lot of the time, you see in programs where the guy manipulates it and goes, "Oh,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
unhappily married. Oh, we're gonna get a divorce anyway. Like we're
And then
separated."
that girl is waiting on the sideline, waiting for the divorce to come through.
and it never
happen.
happened.
This has been going on for about 6 to 8 months. When he said he started ignoring her and telling her he wanted things to cut off, she started popping up on my TikTok notifications. So he's probably just like done what he needs to do.
So he's ended it.
I think he's entertained her.
Yeah.
He's ended it, and she's threatened.
She's now stalking.
She's stalking.
Do you think she knew he had a wife? Because it could be he ended it, and then she's like, "Why has he ended it?" And then done a stalk and been like, "Oh my god, she's married. He's married."
Let me find out. He's sorry, and it won't happen again. More like he's sorry he got caught.
Sorry, he got what a shit
He was
apology.
He was worried about cutting her off because she seemed like the kind of person who would have come to me and told me everything. And he was trying to... he was trying to keep me from getting hurt!
Ah! You've harmed her because you've cheated on her.
Yeah, that's inappropriate.
And he's now trying to seem like the good guy for being like, "Oh, but I'm actually not going to tell you all the details because I don't want to upset you."
Then why do
Why
it?
did you cheat?
Why did you do it? The thing is, I finally just felt like I trusted him completely. In brackets, my own past trauma. I feel like after all these years, we finally got there to a good place. All the BS was worth it because we made it through.
Well, you didn't.
Now,
Sorry,
this and the fact
honey.
that it's been going on for over 2 years, however sporadic.
Darling,
Yeah.
cut him off.
I feel like if I stay, I don't have any self-respect. I'll never be able to trust him or anyone else again. But I'm not sure if I can bring myself to leave.
It's so hard when you have kids with someone as well to pluck up the courage to leave. This is what I was saying earlier. Like, sometimes it's easier to just stay and put up with the bullshit.
Yeah.
But she needs to go. He's really disrespected her. So did he say it never got physical?
He said he never got physical, but I don't believe him.
I wouldn't believe a word he says.
No.
For that woman to be stalking the wife on TikTok, something's happened.
No, definitely. She's probably trying to find out if it's actually going to end.
Yeah.
Well, we asked you guys, what are some of your deal breakers and some of
We
your
did.
boundaries when it comes to relationships?
We did!
Yes!
I haven't read what you guys have said, so I'm looking forward to reactions.
One person said if the chai is too milky. That's true. If you don't know how to make a good cup of tea,
We don't want a milky
want you.
situation. We want flavour in here.
we want spice.
We want
We
spice.
want masala.
Next.
If her friends are boys because they are less drama.
That's you, mate! did your husband write this in? Yeah, that's pick me girl energy. I do think
Thanks, Olive. Thanks.
I think it's such a cop out to go, "Oh, I like being friends with boys because there's less drama." Because I went to a boys' school for sixth form, thinking that was the case.
And it's not.
Some of those guys were more bitchy
So
than the
dramatic.
girls.
I
So
would
dramatic
say,
and bitchy.
Yeah. My husband's friends, some of them, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say which group, they are so flipping dramatic.
Really?
Honestly, I've never seen a girl group like this before in my life.
Wow.
They're
So it
so
doesn't matter the
dramatic.
gender. If you want to be a bitch,
It
you can be a
doesn't.
bitch.
Yeah, exactly. When they prevent you from fulfilling your potential in your career and life just for them.
Major red flag. Linking back to what we were saying about
Yeah.
how I get on top of my boyfriend,
Yeah.
we're both independent people and we respect if the other has a career thing to go to, if they've got a job to go to, if they've got a work event to go to. That's
Yeah.
fine. You don't have to come see me. Go see them. Like, you need to respect that people need to do certain things to, you know, progress
Yeah.
in their career, and that's totally fine. And often it will be a manipulative partner that will be like, they don't want you to do well because
Why not?
because then they can't have control over you.
Ah.
If you're doing really well, making your own money, you can live your own life. They're like, oh, well, she doesn't need me.
I will tell you something. If you are ambitious and if you are hardworking and if you have a dream, you can either have a supportive partner or you can have no partner at all. There's no in between. There's no point.
So
Don't even
true.
try. Somebody said, I can't believe I have to say this, but apparently it's not an unspoken deal breaker. Cheating.
Unfortunately, it's not a deal breaker for some people,
It's
but
not,
it
is
would be
it?
for me, okay?
Yeah, it would be
to
for
my
me as
boyfriend,
well.
if you're listening, to her husband, if you're listening. If they cheat, just move on, please, for everyone else's sake.
Someone said, if you can't survive my girls, you're probably not the one. They're my ride or die.
That's true, though. If the friends of the girlfriend doesn't like you, good luck.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, good luck.
Freaking luck.
Because they are the ones that are giving your girlfriend advice.
Yeah.
So if you're on their bad side, they're going to be in her ear, chatting shit.
Oh my God.
And it'll be over in 2 seconds.
Somebody said eating food in bed. That is a major,
Oh my God.
absolute no
I
from
saw
me.
this TikTok and it was this girl and she was eating a curry in bed. And it was a chicken korma.
Ah!
And you know with corner it has like yellow like food colouring in so it can stain
Yeah.
really easily. She was eating it on white sheets and the sauce was so close to the edge of the plate.
Oh my God.
And she had like an onion bhaji, all this stuff
Oh
on the
my
plate.
God. I don't eat anything in bed. Like
Do you
there's
not?
I don't want any crumbs in bed. It
Yeah, my
makes me
boyfriend hates
angry to
that.
the point where I will stand out of my bed and I will dust
And
the
you'll
whole
dust.
thing. I cannot.
I love a cup of tea and a bit of chocolate
Oh, I
in
can do
bed.
cup of tea. Cup of tea
Yeah.
is fine, but that's
Yeah.
it. That's actually one of my pet peeves. You know, like when my mum is cooking,
Mhm.
my door has to be shut. If my door is open and I smell curry, I'm angry because I don't want to wake up to the smell of curry.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't want it. So eating
Oh.
food in bed, absolute no go. This came from a guy actually. Not being able to cook and clean, it's not a man or woman skill, it's just basic adulting. 100%.
I agree.
I don't understand people who
I
can't
agree.
cook. I'm not saying don't cook well, because that is a preference,
But
and
just
that is
can't
an
cook.
interest. If you can't cook, you don't have a basic skill.
Can you meet my boyfriend and tell him this, please?
If
He
you
doesn't
had to
cook.
leave him on his own for
Yeah.
a month,
He would.
he would learn
Oh,
how
well,
to
he
make...
would. So he gets like 2 deliveries a day. I'm not joking.
Okay, so that's another thing. If you don't want to cook
Yeah.
and you can
But
afford...
he could, like, if he really had to, he'd make like pasta, sausages. He
There you
cooked
go,
at
you
uni.
can. I think it's such a basic...
But if you actually physically cannot cook,
What does that even... I don't understand.
are you okay?
Yeah, I think it's...
You could do beans on toast,
Yeah.
like microwave toaster, you're done.
Yeah.
It's really not hard, people.
It's not. A couple of people have said in-law interference or like crazy in-laws. How do you even know?
Crazy in-laws are going to mess you up, I'm
How
sorry.
do you know?
What do you mean? How do you know if they're
How
crazy?
do you know if they're going to be crazy? Like,
Well,
you're
you don't until you're together. Well, it can be before you're married as well.
So I know a couple of people
Mhm.
who were dating their significant other for about like 5, 6, 7 years.
Are you going to say the in-laws act nice until they're married?
The in-laws were nice, and then they got married, and they saw another side to their in-laws. But I would only see the pre-marriage side to the in-laws, whereas
Because you're like a guest.
yeah, the only reason I would see the crazy side to them is because I am there in their home and I see them, or like I'll be on FaceTime with this girl and I'd hear the craziness in the background. But then when I'm there physically in person and this lady knows I'm there,
That's
she'll-
like catfish in-laws.
yeah, catfish in-laws. Somebody said me and my boyfriend were going out and their mum got ready and came with us.
Deal breaker.
Would it be?
I'd say, Mumsy, put your bag down and I'll see you in a couple of
Okay,
hours.
it depends.
You're not
on the
coming with
situation.
me.
It depends on the situation.
You're going on a date with your boyfriend and the mum comes
It
along.
depends on the situation. You know,
The mum might as well put a wedding dress on.
it depends. Would you not go out with your boyfriend's mum?
Yeah, but it'd be an arranged thing. It'd be like, oh, let's go on, like let's go for lunch, or just me and her would go out. Oh, let's have a bonding sesh.
I think I'm just in a different stage of life. Like, I wouldn't care. Honestly, it would have been. In fact, it would be a bad conversation. Do you know what I mean?
It would probably be
I
better
think if I was
conversation.
dating and she came along, that would be a little bit weird.
But you'd organise it before. You'd be like, oh yeah, like, oh, my mum's going to come with us. We're going to go shopping or whatever. That's okay. But it's not like,
Doesn't get
oh,
like
we're
that.
going on a romantic dinner and then she just picks up her bag and tries to get in the car. I'd lock the door. I'd say, I'll see you in a couple of hours, love.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
But it's fine because I love my mother-in-law.
Oh, do you?
We're besties.
Somebody said they need to be on a similar income.
Oh,
I think
this is so
a topic.
interesting.
Yeah, we need to talk about this.
We'll talk about that in an episode because I've got a lot
But-
to say on that.
Bullet points. Give us bullet points.
Bullet points, I think it does really help if you earn similar, because I think it can get to a point if one of you is earning like a dramatic difference. Let's say one of you was earning 100k and one of you was earning 40k and you haven't combined your finances. The one on 100k could be wanting to go for expensive dinners, expensive hotels, expensive holidays. And if he's not going to pay for you, you probably can't afford the same places. And there's then an imbalance. However, if the one that's earning more money is offering to pay for you and stuff, fine, because then you can afford it. And if you combine your money, it's probably then fine. But I do think after a while, if you had a massive money gap and you didn't combine your finances, it would cause issues.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I think, and this is just my observation, I think when a man is financially secure, he would never want you to go halves on anything.
I agree with
my
that.
husband is financially secure, and so am I. So when he comes and like we go out together, sometimes I'll pay, like if I really push for it. But it will never be. He will never say we're going halves. It will always be assumed that he would be footing the bill.
I agree with that.
But it's always the ones who aren't financially secure, or they're not like happy in what they're doing, that are like, we're only going to go as 50-50.
Yeah.
We need to talk about this in detail because I feel like there's so much when it comes to this, especially like I feel a lot more women expect men to be on a certain salary, like their salary and above, but men don't even bring finances into
That's
it.
true, they don't.
We need to talk about
They
why.
don't think about how much women are earning.
Why?
And that's not a criteria for them.
Why not?
But I think it's with how we've been raised, the man thinks he has to be the provider.
Somebody else said baby mothers. Multiple!
Oh my God, that's sad if it's a red flag. Just
There's
clean the whole
some
house.
good ones.
They
Thank you,
are.
guys.
We'll have to do this again.
We would definitely do this again. But
Definitely.
until next
Let's do our
time,
cheers.
Woo.
Woo. Oh yeah, sip.
You didn't look at me in the eyes. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.